This story is the worst nightmare for any parent of a child with autism. It is the story of a 23-year-old who became violent. He needs specialized care for behavioral issues, but he's in a psychiatric ward because there's nowhere else for him to go. His parents are desperate and begging for help.
Aiden is a lovely little man, and he is going through some struggles.
This is Aiden in happier times. He has a twin brother, Devlin, who also has autism. COVID was especially unkind to Aiden. He lost his routine and became frustrated. That's when his parents say he became violent.
It became overwhelming and terrifying.
Aiden was pretty out of control. At the end, he was attacking anybody.
A year ago, Aiden was put on a crisis list. The attacks continued, up to 6 times a day.
No safe place for us. We're all hiding in Devlin's bedroom pretty much with the lock on the door. And then Aiden would become enraged that he couldn't get to you. And he would just start smashing things, his iPad, his television.
Yeah, like
ripping
breaking the
his
wall,
curtains
stuff
off
like that.
the wall.
They finally called 911. Aiden was taken to the psychiatric ward at Owen Sound Hospital. He's been there for 8 months. But the staff are not trained to deal with his needs. His parents have had to hire extra care at $13,000 a month. Even with some government funding, they're broke. But there is nowhere else for Aiden to go.
We were told that the wait list is non-existent and that once you're placed in crisis, that's the only time you will have a hope in hell of getting housing. And even with Aiden being at the top of that crisis list right now, the chances are that we're looking at 3 years. And right now, Aiden is in an 8x8 room that is locked.
You say hi?
There's this mythological place that we've heard about that is supposedly a place where people like Aiden can get this massive amount of behavioral help and medical help. And there's these huge success stories, but they only have 7 beds. And in order for you to even get on the wait list for them, you have to already have housing in place. Which,
right.
How do we? It's
right. So there's no exit. Yes,
situation.
Like he can't get help for his behaviors because they won't. There's no end place for him to go. There's no end place for him to go because he has behaviors. Like it's just ridiculous.
It is a life they never could have suspected when their babies were born.
My hope for him is that we figure out what happened so that we can help him and that he can be happy again. We see it sometimes. We see that little boy and he is happy and smiling and giggling. And our hope is that we see him more and we get to share things with him again.
The Ontario Autism Coalition tells me this is not an isolated situation. They are aware of similar cases. Getting answers to this story from the government has not been easy. The Ministry of Social Services tell me this is an issue for the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health did not respond to my questions by deadline. We will continue to follow this story.